As early as next week, the House could vote on impeaching Homeland Security Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas over the crisis at the southern border.
At the same time, those same House Republicans are working to kill the most substantial bipartisan border security deal in decades. CNN's Ed Lavandera is on the ground in Texas.
He's got you covered on the battle there between state officials and the federal government.
Gaston Santander fled Venezuela and crossed into Texas in the summer of 2021, just a few months after Governor Greg Abbott launched the state-funded border security plan called Operation Lone Star.
El río crucé, estaba la policía de Texas.
Instead of being detained by Border Patrol agents, he was arrested by Texas state troopers. Part of Operation Lone Star involves arresting migrants for trespassing onto private property. Governor Abbott has argued these arrests would deter migrants.
And when people start learning about this, they're going to stop coming across the Texas border.
Gaston, you were handcuffed, arrested, charged with criminal trespassing. You spent more than a month in jail in Texas.
Yo nunca había vivido ese infierno.
Santander says the experience was hell. He spent his life working as a human rights lawyer, now was seen as a criminal. The trespassing charge was dismissed by a judge. And almost 3 years later, Santander is now in Colorado awaiting his asylum hearing. The state arrest did nothing to derail that. Kristen Etter is a lawyer who's worked with groups that have defended thousands of migrants snagged into the net of Operation Lone Star.
Is really just a political stunt and has no real effect on immigration.
The state says they've made nearly 10,000 trespassing arrests since 2021. Etter says many of those misdemeanor cases are simply dismissed.
Operation Lone Star has essentially been a $10.5 billion temporary and harsh detour to the asylum system. It doesn't actually prevent a person from being able to request and receive asylum in the United States.
Since Operation Lone Star started almost 3 years ago, Governor Abbott has continued to escalate the number of state troopers and National Guard soldiers deployed to the border. State officials say Operation Lone Star has turned over nearly 500,000 migrants to Border Patrol and has led to over 35,000 more serious felony charges.
We've deployed more National Guard, thousands of National Guard, than ever before in the history of the state.
But according to federal immigration data, the number of migrant encounters along the Texas-Mexico border has increased overall since Operation Lone Star launched in March of 2021. But the Texas governor's office points out that other states on the southern border, like Arizona and California, have seen much sharper increases in migrant encounters than Texas.
Okay, you done?
Democratic State Representative Eddie Morales once supported Operation Lone Star, but now says the $11 billion price tag hasn't been worth it.
The numbers have just continued to increase. We have to answer to our Texas taxpayers. I don't think that it's enough what we're doing. As a matter of fact, it's only gotten worse.
Morales represents Eagle Pass, the border city that's become the epicenter of the ongoing fight between state and federal authorities over immigration. State authorities have taken over a public park and are limiting Border Patrol access to the area. The state has also installed miles of razor wire along the Rio Grande. Texas sued the Biden administration to prevent Border Patrol agents from cutting the wire to apprehend or rescue migrants. But the Supreme Court has ruled that border agents can remove the wire while the case plays out in court.
This is all political theater. You walk, a mile down that way or a mile down that way, and it's completely open.
Recently, CNN teams have seen migrants cross underneath the razor wire installed in Eagle Pass.
Texas Governor Greg Abbott continues to round up support for more security and border measures, as well as increased criminal penalties for people entering Texas illegally.